going to talk about the sensorial area of the Montessori classroom now. It's really one of my favorite areas and should be one of the most important parts. I think practical life and sensorial are really the core of what we do in the Montessori classroom, and it's pretty unique to this type of education. Marie Montessori developed the sensorial materials to fine-tune the children's senses, and she did it through isolation of difficulty, which means she designed each material to only have one changing factor. So it's not like a lot of toys you can buy at the store might have 10 different colors, 10 different shapes, 10 different numbers and letters on each block or whatever. And in this classroom, in all Montessori classrooms, the materials are designed to focus on one particular sense. So this one, they're all identical cubes that only vary in width. Identical cylinders that vary in width again. The red rods are identical in every way except for their length. So this is teaching length. When you break the components down, you're teaching very specific vocabulary and very specific skills to the children. So I'm going to present quite a few of these for you. So Montessori teachers and parents all over the world have seen how effectively these work with children and how engaging they are, especially to, again, 3-year-old. It just is really, they're visually appealing, and having them put together like this in the classroom, the child kind of knows when they've done it right. It's self-correcting is the word in Montessori that we use for that. At around age 3, we talked about the absorbent mind yesterday and the unconscious absorbent mind from birth to age 3, where it turns into the conscious absorbent mind from 3 to 6. So at this age is when the impressions that have been entering the child's mind over the first 3 years of infancy and toddlerhood are starting to really form what's in the child's mind. And so when you work with something like the pink tower, it is like creating this impression of varying size in the child's mind. Montessori describes these sensorial materials as providing order to the accidental and essential impressions that make up the young person's mind. They provide a precise guide for ordering these impressions and weeding out those that are unnecessary. The child begins to recognize that their environment is predictable and that they have some control over their surroundings. This development is called the mathematical mind. So these are mostly pre-math materials, teaching comparison, contrasting, visual discrimination, and other types of discrimination of the senses. The lessons are all done silently, which adds to the level of attention the child pays, and it allows the child to create the impressions in their mind before they add the cultural component of language. Language can be used with the older child when presenting these lessons to teach words like broad and narrow, but they should be done silently at first, or with very minimal language. Like math materials, they're all in sets of 10, so they relate to the decimal system. They have some one-to-one correspondence, and they teach measurement to a degree. They also relate to the language area in the visual and auditory discrimination, and they develop the pincher grasp that we talked about so much, which is a free-handwriting skill. They each contain movement, which we talked about yesterday as being really critical to the child's development.